Minister of Housing Dangiwa says Nigeria needs 500,000 housing units annually to bridge deficit. House of Representatives urged government to address food smuggling and insecurity. Nigeria and Japan seek closer ties to deepen food security, trade and development. Nigeria Labour Congress calls on federal government to reverse palm price immediately. On the foreign scene, Indonesian president-elect to separate the Ministry of Public Works and Housing into two separate ministries. We begin the news with the housing sector. The federal government has announced that Nigeria requires the construction of approximately 550,000 housing units each year over the next decade to address the nation's growing housing deficit. Minister of Housing and Urban Development Ahmed Dangiwa made this statement during the groundbreaking ceremony for Graceland Estate in Enugu. He added that achieving this goal will demand around 5.5 trillion naira annually. Dangiwa attributed the significant housing shortfall to the ineffective implementation of previous housing policies and the underperformance of housing delivery institutions. He also highlighted several challenges, including an undeveloped housing market, a lack of robust secondary mortgage system, and unfavorable macroeconomic conditions. Commending the efforts of Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah for embracing President Bola Tinubu's housing policy, Dangiwa emphasized that the federal government's interventions were already producing tangible results.
For this great land estate for which I'm here to perform the groundbreaking today, it adds another feather to Dr. Chime's impactful life as a reputable developer. As the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, we are proud to be part of this project under the broad framework of our Renewed Hope housing program. This estate, part of the 10,000 housing unit called City Eastern Extension Layout, it aligns with His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu DCFR goal to deliver quality and affordable housing to all Nigerians. As you may be aware, the housing challenge in our country is immense, because statistics have shown that to address this problem, we need to build approximately 550,000 housing units annually over the next 10 years, which will require about 5.5 trillion naira per annum. I want to commend the Enugu State Government under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Peter Mbah for providing massive piece of land estimated at over 260 hectares in a viable and accessible location for this project. And I need to also commend him for giving us as a ministry 50 hectares of land for our Renewed Hope Estates program. This demonstrates a visionary leadership and a strong understanding of the importance of housing to economic development in the state. Again, I want to commend Copen Group for conceiving this project, particularly the Managing Director of Copen Group, Reverend Dr. Ugochime. I want to state that as a ministry, we're happy to partner with the state government and Copen Group to ensure the successful and timely completion of these 10,000 housing units called City Eastern Extension Layout as part of our Renewed Hope housing program. As we break ground for this estate today, we are laying the foundation for job creation, economic development and improvement of the quality of life for countless families in Enugu and beyond.
Governor Mbah, represented by his deputy Ifeanyi Osai, encouraged Nigerian universities to conduct research focused on reducing the high cost of building in the country. He stressed that currency devaluation had driven up labor costs, making it difficult for the average Nigerian to afford homes even when they are available. Mbah also praised the federal government for including Enugu as part of its national housing initiative, underscoring the importance of collaboration in addressing the housing crisis. The Nigerian House of Representatives has taken a significant step towards addressing the alarming rate of building collapses in the country. Following a motion sponsored by Honorable Adiremi Oseni, the House passed a resolution to investigate these incidents, acknowledging that protecting citizens' lives and properties is the government's primary responsibility. Honorable Seni's motion was driven by concerns by recurring building collapses in major Nigerian cities, highlighting the urgent need for action. This development is a welcome move considering the recent tragedies in Lagos and Ibadan. Diasporan real estate investors have cried out over the demolition of Win Homes Global Estate in Okunwaja, Lagos, allegedly on the orders of the Federal Ministry of Works in the ongoing Coastal Road Project construction. They called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently intervene and save them from the Minister of Works, adding that the estate was demolished for allegedly violating the 2006 gazetted alignment for a proposed coastal road project. They added that they embarked on full due diligence and secured all necessary documents, including fulfilling requirements from the Lagos State government before building. The chairman of the Oyo State Housing Corporation, Demola Omotosho, has revealed that all plans have been concluded to ensure the construction of 2,500 housing units in Ajoda's new town is completed within 12 months from the day the project is commissioned. The agency's chairman stated this while speaking with journalists on the current state of housing projects at a briefing in Ibadan on Wednesday. Similarly, Lagos State Government and the State Police Command have restated their commitment to collaborate in tackling land grabbing and other security issues in Lagos. This was made known when the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Lagos, Lawal Pedro, received the newly deployed Commissioner of Police, Olarinwaju Ishola, and his team during a courtesy visit recently at the conference room Ministry of Justice Secretariat, Alausa, Ikeja. While speaking, Pedro emphasized the need for stronger collaboration to address security issues in the state, particularly the growing menace of land grabbing, which has been a general concern in the state. The Attorney General also reaffirmed the importance of the partnership between the police and the Justice Ministry, highlighting the need for continual dialogue to address emerging security challenges and protect the rights of all citizens. As the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, joins the global community to celebrate the 2024 Customer Service Week, the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the bank, Shehu Osidi, has re-emphasized the bank's commitment to prioritizing customer satisfaction, urging all staff to pursue excellent service delivery. This was the highlight of his remarks during the opening ceremony of the bank's 2024 Customer Service Week celebration held recently at the bank's head office in Abuja. Osidi highlighted the pivotal position of customers to the bank's success, which he noted is in line with its core value of customer centricity. He urged the staff to respect all customers and work towards minimizing complaints by promptly and successfully attending to the needs of customers. Supported by the Executive Director, Business Development and Portfolio Management, Chineye Chinedu Anosike, Executive Director, Loans and Mortgage Services, Dr. Mohammed Sani Abdu, and other top management staff of the bank, the MD CEO took a tour of the colorful display to mark the week, commending the Servicom unit of the Corporate Corporations Group of the bank, which organizes the customer service celebration, and staff that made the ceremony very colorful. Vice President Kashim Shettima has stressed that Nigeria will continue to strengthen its ties with Japan as part of measures to deepen trade and exploit more opportunities in areas of infrastructural development, food security, health, and among others. Shettima gave the assurance when a delegation of the Japanese government, led by the outgoing ambassador of Japan to Nigeria, Matsunaga Kazuyoshi, and President of Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, Dr. Tanaka Akihiko, paid him a visit at the State House, Abuja, on Wednesday. Shettima, while speaking, assured the Japanese government of enhanced cooperation with the federal government of Nigeria, as well as resolving all the gray areas involving bilateral relations between the two nations. Shettima applauded Ambassador Kazuyoshi for doing an outstanding job in anchoring the relationship between the two nations, noting that the presence of key actors in the administration of President Bola Tinubu, including 2 ministers and the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, accentuated the importance Nigeria attaches to its relationship with Japanese International Development Agency, JICA. Let's go on a break. More stories coming your way. Stay with us.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Welcome back to Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Moving on, the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, implement the Efforts Prohibition Act 2004 to curb food smuggling and food insecurity in Nigeria. The House also urged the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to provide more incentives for farmers to boost agricultural production and productivity. The Committees on Agricultural Production and Services, Legislative Compliance, Customs, Commerce and Industry were mandated to ensure compliance and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. These resolutions follow the adoption of a motion titled Need to Curb Export Prohibition Act to Curb Insecurity in Nigeria, sponsored by Honorable Mukhtar Shagaya. The House noted that Section 14, subsection 2b of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, as amended, states that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of the government. It also noted that Nigeria is currently experiencing high levels of food insecurity, food inflation, and food shortages. Federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, has secured loans worth $6.45 billion from the World Bank in just 16 months. The amount increased to the new figure following the recent approval of 3 new loans totaling $1.57 billion from the World Bank for various projects in Nigeria, and is expected to increase further in the coming months. This was as the international lender approved no fewer than 36 loan requests to the federal government, amounting to a substantial total of $24.88 billion within 5 years. These approvals, aimed at financing various development projects nationwide, arrive alongside increasing concerns about the country's escalating debt profile, prompting questions about the sustainability of these financial commitments and their potential long-term effects on the economy. Some of the projects under Tinubu include loans for power, $750 million, women empowerment, $500 million, girls education, $700 million, renewable energy, $750 million, economic stabilization reforms of $1.5 billion, and resource mobilization reforms, $750 million. The leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, on Wednesday called out the federal government over fresh hike in price of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol. The labor movement specifically demanded an immediate reversal of the fuel price, saying it is illogical that a private firm is the one determining the prices of the products. Reacting to the developments, the president of NLC, Joe Ajero, wondered why the federal government continues to jack up the price of petrol every month, even when the minimum wage was yet to be implemented. Earlier reports from Newsman stated that the NNPCL announced a fresh increase in the price of fuel on Wednesday from 898 naira to over 1,030 naira. In response to the flood that wreaked havoc on Ondo City in Ondo State last Friday, the state's governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, has led the officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to the town to assess the severity of the disaster. Represented by his deputy Olayide Adelami, the governor received the NEMA officials led by the Director General Zubaida Umar in his office in Akure. In her remarks, the DG of NEMA, Zubaida, said the disaster was not unexpected, as she promised that the agency will support the state government to provide succor to the victims. The governor thanked the agency for coming to the rescue of the people of the town, saying NEMA has been a credible partner to the state government.
It is a big one. We have seen it, and this brings home the fact that we need to do much more as people in terms of clearing waterways and also avoiding building on waterways. Having said that, we've seen it, we've done a rapid assessment, and we're going to go back and see how we can collaborate with other agencies to see how we can assist further.
The level of damage is massive. This is just one of the sites. So many other areas that have been ravaged with the flash flood. And on this note, that's why the DG NEMA, she's here personally, even though our staff have been here much earlier.
The flooding has been very severe to our people, and a lot of damages has been done. I want to advise our people to calm down. The government are on ground, the state government, the federal government are on ground, and they've done their assessment, and of course let's give them time to be able to respond to our needs.
The Swiss Federation has donated £1.2 million to the Borno State Flood Disaster Relief Fund to provide much-needed support to the victims of the flood disaster in Borno. The Swiss ambassador to Nigeria, Nicholas Lang, announced the donation when he led a delegation of the Swiss embassy on a sympathy visit to the government house in Maiduguri. Mr. Lang said Switzerland had supported the Borno model in 2023 with about $700 million for the mass exit of armed Boko Haram insurgents and civilians trapped in the lines of conflict. The newly deployed Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Mustafa Mohammed, has vowed to swiftly restore normalcy in the local government areas of the state where attacks and violence broke out on Monday. Mohammed made this statement during a maiden media briefing shortly after taking over from his predecessor, Olatunji Diso, at the command headquarters in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. The newly deployed CP said he has zero tolerance for corruption, stating that any officer found wanting would be punished. He described the security concerns in the state as critical and unique, and as such, under his watch, the command is committed to transparency and will welcome constructive criticism.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking your time to come. Your new Commissioner of Police, kindly extend all the cooperation you gave to me to him. The Almighty God continue to be your guide. Yeah, welcome. We wish you all the successes you deserve. Thank you very much.
My priority task is to swiftly restore calm in the respective local government areas where pockets of these issues or violent attacks have been presently at present where how it happened, and of course we have already in place measures. We have already in place measures through convoy patrol and confidence building patrol to assure the public of their safety. The complexities of maintaining law and order here require a proactive and strategic approach. Proactive means to nab any plan in the boot through intelligence-led policy. So we'll be more proactive in our dealings with you as press. Any information you receive, try to confirm from us, and if we have something for you, we'll draw your attention immediately.
CP Mustafa said intelligence units will be strengthened and the police will work with community and other sister agencies to ensure safety of lives and property with a view to building stronger ties with the community and restore public confidence.
Strengthening intelligence gathering, that is community-based. Intelligence is the mainstay of effective policing. We will strengthen our intelligence units and work closely with local communities, traditional institutions, and other supportive sister security agencies to gather actionable intelligence. They will enable us to prevent crimes before they occur and swiftly respond to any distress. Community policy and public enlightenment.
Moving on to the foreign scene, as housing becomes more expensive in both Michigan and nationwide, the 2024 presidential candidates have introduced plans to make homes more affordable. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have prioritized policies on the issue as it becomes more important to voters. Considering that concern, the campaigns for the White House have detailed plans to make housing more affordable. The Harris campaign has proposed extending the low-income housing credit and providing $25,000 in down payment in assistance for first-time buyers. In addition, Harris wants to build 3 million new houses with tax incentives for building middle-income housing. Trump supports tax incentives and support for first-time buyers. He also backs increased spending on housing for homeless veterans and says his plans to restrict immigration and curb inflation will bring home prices down. Still on the foreign scene, a member of Prabowo's housing task force, Boni Z Minang, said the Indonesian president-elect will separate the Ministry of Public Works and Housing into two separate ministries, that is, the Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of Housing. The ministry will be separated in order to strengthen its public works function, especially regarding infrastructure construction. Previously, President-elect Prabowo's brother Hashim conveyed the future government's plan to form the Housing Ministry. According to Hashim, the construction of 2 million housing units in rural areas will be entrusted to micro, small and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, and village-owned enterprises to encourage the development of MSMEs in Indonesian regions while creating new middle-class citizens. To end the Housing TV news at the top of the hour, our top stories once again. Minister of Housing Dangiwa says Nigeria needs 500,000 housing units annually to bridge deficits. House of Representatives urge government to address food smuggling and insecurity. Nigeria and Japan seek closer ties to deepen food security, trade and development. Nigeria Labour Congress calls on federal government to reverse pump price immediately. On the foreign scene, Indonesia's president-elect to separate the Ministry of Public Works and Housing into two separate ministries. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. I'm Joyce Onso. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing.